On this week's Tuesday Talk, we are answering a question from a viewer about what we have learned or what surprised us since we started full-time RVing in terms of small-town America and people in America. What surprised us about, or what have we learned about America?
What have we learned about America? That's very interesting. I learned that not all America, the United States, not all of the U.S. looks like, I don't know, first world. There are some communities that really haven't caught or don't really keep up as well as some of your larger cities, the cities that you might be used to. There's a lot of dead areas in terms of cell phone coverage. There's a lot of very basic, rudimentary utilities in some areas. But I think the thing that surprised me the most is everybody seems to be super nice, almost wherever you go.
Yeah, that is very true. And this is probably true everywhere, though some people might say it's because of where we've been traveling. We've only been on the western half of the U.S. so far, but we're from the East Coast, so we've been there before. People are nice, just in general. They're friendly. When we go into shops, everybody wants to talk to you. When you say you're a full-time traveler, I think I kind of expected people to look at us like we were bums or, I don't know, not really trustworthy. Or I don't know. I don't know what I thought from people when I say we're full-time travelers, especially being this young. But in general, everyone's super excited and they want to know what that means and where we've been, and it sparks conversation. And I don't know, people have been really nice.
I've also learned that I know this is going to come across in a way that I probably don't want it to come across, but I think it's unfortunate that a lot of people from the U.S. travel overseas before they see their own country. Because there's a lot, everybody wants to go to Europe or whatever, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's so much to see in the U.S. that most people don't get to see. It's not all like where you're currently living right now. There's so much else out there.
There is.
That I think it's a shame that when we go to national parks, the majority of the language that we hear isn't English. So Americans, U.S. citizens are not necessarily going to our own national parks. It's people from Europe, it's Asia. Just people from not from the U.S. are primarily the ones visiting our national parks in our experience. And that's both great, and it's also unfortunate that more Americans aren't doing that.
Yeah. I have a friend who went to Antarctica, and she was on a boat with people from all over the world, all scientists, and she asked them, all young, where in the world, if you had to pick one place in the world, where would you go? And they said Bryce Canyon in the U.S. And she was like, whoa, because she was from Vegas, and that's like not that far.
3 hours north of where we are right now.
It surprises people a lot, but the U.S. has absolutely amazing places to visit, and we've only scratched the surface given the 2 years we've been on the road. And it really does. They say travel makes you better because you get to see other people and see other places, and that's mostly talking about other countries because it's so very different from our own, and that is still very important to see and realize that people live differently and that there's other stuff out there and expand your horizons.
People also live differently here, though.
They do.
That most U.S. citizens do not realize until they actually travel and see.
There's regional cuisines, there's festivals, things are just so very different across the country, and it's really fun to be able to get into an area and stay long enough to meet some people and do some local events and eat some regional cuisine and see how people live and just talk to people, and it's really fabulous. And I can't see us, we could do this for 20 years and I still think we'd probably still just be scratching the surface just a little bit deeper. But yeah.
Yeah.
And there's national parks, which are important and awesome, but there's so many other things out there too. If you explored even the state you live in, the other side of the state you live in, you'll probably find things you'd never expect. And beautiful nature, amazing small towns, great food. It's all here.
It's a lot of it's here.
Yeah.
And I'm certainly thankful that we get to experience
We
that.
do. We are
We get to
incredibly
see everything
thankful.
there is about our country. We do plan to travel internationally
And
later.
we have in the past, too.
But we're glad that we're seeing our own country first, I guess. 'Cause
Getting a
this is
better
where we
understanding
live.
of where we live.
Yeah.
So that's it for this week's Tuesday Talk. If you have a question for a future Tuesday Talk, leave it in the comments below. Also in the comments, do you agree with us? Do you have anything else you'd like to add to the conversation about small town America and traveling in the U.S. in general? We'd love to hear it, as would probably the other viewers. If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next time.
That's right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.